Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this week, Teen Wolf taught us a whole new way to create a werewolf. Seriously, raise your hand if you just got a little bit hungry after the episode. Don't worry, I won't judge. There were like at least 4 new plot lines that got started, so let's just chomp right in. Hello to all the new people. If you're just finding me for the first time, I'm doing weekly Teen Wolf videos. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. I also included a playlist in the description in case you want to travel down the YouTube Teen Wolf rabbit hole. Here are details on the Comic-Con panel. So Teen Wolf is going to be at Comic-Con on Thursday, July 24th. The panel's at 3:30 p.m. and they're basically bringing Jeff Davis, the creator, Tyler Posey, Dylan O'Brien, Tyler Hoechlin, Holden Roden, Shelley Hennig, and Dylan Sprayberry, the new Liam character. They're also going to debut the trailer for the second half of the season, so I'll be sure to do a full breakdown of that, and if I don't get a video at that weekend, I'll include it in my Monday video for the episode that week. So let's get to episode 3. What I'm going to do is my top 5 moments, and then I'll do my review. Careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet. I'll wait just a sec. Okay, here we go. Number 5, Kate takes Derek's true nature. We finally get an answer to Derek's eye color. I actually thought it was some conceit of the de-aging spell, but it sounds like Kate did that to him to both get inside the vault and to take his true nature. The only reason that comes to mind is that she needs it to power some other weird ritual. Whenever they said true nature, I actually thought more about identity, like she took Derek's identity, so now that Derek does not have that, he won't be able to complete some sort of important task later this season until he gets that back. Did you see the way he was acting too? I actually thought it was young Derek for a second in old Derek's body. He seemed like he was staring at himself a lot, like he didn't know himself. I have to give Tyler Hoechlin props for being able to play a different version of Derek without it seeming cheesy. Let me know what you think we should call this version of Derek. Like we can call regular Derek, Derek Prime, and this Derek like Shadow Derek or something like that. It does seem like he's operating at a fraction of his normal capacity, like he's in panic mode right now. Number 4, Lydia finds the meat locker. If you were confused, don't feel bad. It took me till the end reveal of Sean being a Wendigo for me to understand the meat locker. The mute, played by Joseph Gatt from Game of Thrones, was killing his family because they were supernatural. It seemed like he might have done something funky to him in the bathroom, but really the mute is attacking supernatural families in Beacon Hills. That's part of the Deadpool kill list and the Benefactor. The next episode, episode 4, is actually called The Benefactor, so presumably we're going to find out what's going on with him. But when Lydia found the meat locker, she was finding Sean's family's refrigerator, basically. Wendigos are from Algonquin mythology. They're basically cannibal monsters, so that's why those were human bodies in that meat locker. The family just kept them on ice like you'd keep steaks on ice. Pretty gross, huh? So that's why at the end, whenever he said, "I'm so hungry," he wasn't on drugs or anything. He just hadn't fed on human flesh in a long time. Do not ask what is in his Gatorade bottle. The other really important thing that was happening here, I felt like, was Lydia forming a connection with Deputy Parrish. He seemed amazingly sanguine about her supernatural Banshee status, even though I don't think that he knows she's a Banshee. She still doesn't understand how her power works either, so they basically just treated it like a weird WTF skill that she has. I feel like this is going to end up turning into more of like a Mulder-Scully relationship, where she just starts being more proactive about seeking out murders. Her power draws her to people who are near death or who have just died, so she's got like a super radar for death. I'm really interested to see her learn how to use this ability a little bit more and see if there's any other aspects to it that just haven't manifested yet. But number 4, Malia versus Math. I love the way the show bounces between adorable and crazy murder so fast. Last week I said Malia was my favorite character so far this year. I think Lacrosse Kirra might give her a run for her money, but the look on her face whenever she walked into math class was priceless. I feel like the reaction faces that some of the cast members make are what they're really paid for. Like, it's a rare ability to be able to make amazing faces like that on command all day long. It was just like there was a giant middle finger drawn on that chalkboard. It's just a twist of the challenges that each of the characters are facing this season. Like, Malia is more afraid of math than she is of berserkers squishing them like grapes. So her ultimate triumph this year isn't going to be slaying people, it's going to be slaying calculus. The cool part is that Brainiac Styles gets to be her wingman on that mission. On the battlefield, he can't do that. He's like a squishy cloth-wearing mage, and she's like a plate-wearing warrior. Except he doesn't have any magic, unless you consider doing homework to be magic. The funny thing about that is that I feel like Malia feels like homework is magic. Speaking of which, Lydia's crazy notes, those were the same symbols on the computer screen of the mute, which seem like encoded instructions from the Benefactor. I didn't recognize any patterns in the symbols, but if you think you know what they're all about, just write it in the comments. Number 3, the mute is killing supernatural people. So here's a weird thought. If he has no mouth, how did he speak to Sean at the beginning of the episode when he was trapped in the bathroom? Or was that voice coming from the benefactor and not from the mute's mouth? We're probably going to have to wait to the next episode to find that out, just because the only communication we saw from the mute, like direct communication, was to Scott when he made that, whisper motion. He's pretty clearly getting instructions from the benefactor via that weird computer pipeline he plugged into. It's like some kind of magical cyber gear, like a combination of technology and magic. That actually reminded me of this really weird Marvel What If story from like a long time ago. It was this story where Tony Stark became Doctor Strange, and he inscribed all these magical runes on his Iron Man suit so that he could automate spells, the way you would automate machinery. I don't think we're going to see anything like that on Teen Wolf anytime soon, but I am interested to see how the benefactor is using the internet to control the mute. He does seem like he has cognition and free will, but he also seems like a flesh and blood robot being controlled with a magical remote. But on to number 2, Kirra joins the Lacrosse team. Even though Lacrosse felt like the challenge for her this week and the relationship with Scott was the reward, I felt like it should have been the other way around. Like she had to overcome Scott's derpiness, and as a reward, she'd get to join the Lacrosse team. Scott is the real challenge for her here. I mean, Lacrosse is just going to be way too easy. Just look at her twirl her lacrosse stick. I could look at a gif of her doing that all day long. I cannot wait to see her decapitate someone with that. The whole parents moving thing feels like a dead end because she's not going to leave the show, and her parents aren't going to move and leave her in town to move in with one of the other characters. But I am so much more excited about Lacrosse now that she's part of it. Before that happened, it was basically a straight up reboot of what happened freshman year. Now that Kirra's on the team, I feel like all the Lacrosse scenes are going to start being about her, which is way more fun than just watching Scott go alpha on everyone. That's basically what the season 1 plot was about, him using werewolf powers on the field. So finally, my number 1 WTF moment, of course, Scott bites Liam. Full disclosure, I actually knew this was going to happen a long time ago. The creator of the show, Jeff Davis, was talking about Liam becoming Scott's new beta all summer. I just didn't know how it was going to happen, like how he was going to give him the bite. I actually thought it was a really cool twist on the creation of a new werewolf. Scott would have never done that willingly, and the best moment was actually his WTF reaction after the mute left. Like, oh my god, what did I just do? There were actually 2 big moments in the episode where Scott's brain just went offline and then had like this violent reboot several moments later. Like the first time when he unconsciously kissed Kirra on the way to class and then was just like, wait, what? And then obviously the second time at the end of the episode where he just had the WTF derp face. I'd like to call him Derp Scott in this episode, but he was being a hero, and I love the idea of Scott having a beta that's a brand new character, so I totally forgive him for being a space cadet. So if you've been watching Teen Wolf for a couple seasons now, here's a big question for you. How many times do you think that Scott has had a moment like that where he just completely spaces and goes out to lunch mentally and then just wakes up moments later realizing what he's done? And do you think this is going to be a really big issue with him not being able to think in the moment? Or do you think it's him just acting on instinct and it's not a big issue? Like it's not going to become a problem? I do think Scott has very good instincts, but I'm curious to see how his relationship with Kirra twists that. Overall, I gave the episode a B+. It was my favorite episode of the season so far. It was so much fun. I love the new Liam character. I feel like we won't get to know him until he's part of the pack though, so there's still a lot that we don't know about him. They've really just teased a troubled history, so I'm interested to find out why he got kicked out of his last school. Lacrosse Kirra was amazing, and Malia with the markers I feel like was a really good misdirect for what's probably going to become a really big problem later this season when she finds out that Peter's her father. It's too bad this airs during the summer because I'd love to see a Halloween episode where the pack dresses up as the Avengers. You guys can totally pick who gets to be who, but Scott has to be Captain America and Lydia has to be Scarlet Witch. Everybody else is up for grabs, but maybe Malia could be She-Hulk or Angela. Whoever she is, she's definitely got to be vicious. I feel like there's this weird pattern emerging with the characters, like they face challenges, if they defeat them, they get a special reward, either in the form of acceptance or in the form of a relationship, like with Kirra and Scott. Like if Malia defeats Math, she gets to be a real person, like she's Pinocchio trying to become a normal human, and Kira's just trying to fit in, so if she can kick ass at Lacrosse and defeat Scott's reluctance, she'll get that relationship that she wants and everyone's acceptance. Let me know what you think that Lydia and Styles' rewards are. Like, what will Lydia get if she can master her abilities? So this week was kind of crazy with the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff going on Monday, but I'm going to try and do an extra Teen Wolf bonus video next Monday. I'm trying to do those bonus videos about, mythology topics inside the Teen Wolf universe, so be sure to subscribe to get that, and feel free to leave me suggestions. But I'm also adding a playlist link in the description too, just in case you want to watch more Teen Wolf videos. Right now, click here to get my episode 2 video, and click here to get my episode 1 video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. High fives.